Big Mike here with
Hayes Entertainment.
today's episode. We got Nick Wiebe, Canadian linebacker, Oregon, now on the transfer portal.
If you like what we're doing, hit the subscribe button. Let's go.
My name is Nick Wiebe, former Oregon linebacker in the transfer portal at the moment, and I just came on I Only Touch Greatness podcast.
Looking for the most beers on tap? Great steaks, great staff? Head over to the John B. Pub.
We got the best beers, steaks, chicken wings, nachos in town. Come see us at the John B. Pub.
The John B. Pub, the best bar in town. Come sign up for our football pool. Say hey, sent you.
The number one sports podcast in Vancouver with Ryan Hayes and Big Mike.
Ryan Hayes and Big Mike. I Only Touch Greatness podcast.
I Only Touch Greatness podcast with Ryan Hayes and
How you
Big
doing?
Mike.
Sorry to leave you in the waiting room like that. Big Mike couldn't cut an intro for the life of him there.
No, it's all good. I got nothing but time these days.
Thank you very much for taking the time for us.
Of course, man. Yeah, sorry I didn't get back to you very fast. DMs have been a little crowded these days, but
I bet.
it was all good.
Yeah. I'm Ryan, by the way, and this is Big Mike that you've been talking to.
Of course, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. We're just going to ask you a bunch of questions about football and your career. So we'll get started here. Canadian kid, born in Calgary. What was it like? What was it like growing up and playing football? When did you start?
Shoot, I would have been like 7 years old when I started playing football. I played hockey a lot prior to that too. I played hockey probably a lot longer than I played football, but it was cool. A lot of the guys I played hockey with played football with me as well, so we kind of grew up together in sports, playing in Okotoks, just south of Calgary. So it was cool to grow up with the same guys and play with the same dudes through the whole through minor football, minor hockey, and then high school football, and it was really solid. I love the atmosphere up here, and Calgary football is, I think, the best in the country. People might have other opinions about it, but I think Calgary football is the best. And it was awesome growing up here and playing here.
Okay. Did you ever get to have any play against Chuba at all?
No, actually I did. In the Alberta Summer Games, there was a football, we had a football team. We were the Big Country Browns or something like that. It's just the surrounding area of Calgary. It's Zone 2, they call it.
Okay.
And he was in the Sherwood Park team. We played them in the bronze medal game or whatever. So yeah, I did. I got to play against Chuba when we were in grade 9 probably at the time.
Was he a beast like that?
Yeah, he was so fast. He would when everyone was talking about him, he's a Team Canada sprinter, I was expecting go out there and see this 160-pound kid just burning people. But even back then, he was 195, just a monster. Dude had legs that were bigger than my torso. I was all right, it's gonna be a long day. But it was fun. It was fun playing against him. It was a good time.
And I mean, you play with another Canadian kid as well, Javon Holland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's he like?
He's a cool dude. I really enjoyed Javon. I got the opportunity to go in. We were in the same class. We came in the same summer at Oregon, and we always talked about being Canadian. He was born in Vancouver, grew up in the Bay, but still a Canadian citizen, dual citizen, and all that. So we always talked about being Canadian, and well, that's kind of something we had in common. We kind of were friends early because of that, just because we both knew we were Canadian. So yeah, Javon's an awesome dude. Great safety, probably first rounder this year. Probably, I mean, he'll be a first or second rounder this year. He's a hell of a football player, and I wish all the best for him. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's actually from our home city.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Vancouver. Yeah, I saw you guys are in Vancouver. I won't hold the Canucks fan against you.
No, I know. I was gonna ask what position you played in hockey.
I was a defenseman.
Oh, okay.
Playing on the blue line a little bit. I was just a little bit better at skating than a lot of people, so that's kind of why they threw me back there. I was pretty small, but
that's a good Canadian kid.
Yeah,
that's right.
I try.
I like the patriotic tattoo on the arm too. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, I made sure I had to get that when I was down in Oregon. I decided that everyone should know I'm from Canada on TV, so I decided that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sweet.
What was the transition like for you heading to the U.S.? I think you originally went in high school for IMG, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. More of a culture shock, like socially, and like just like this like scenic culture shock more than anything. I mean, football is football. Like they have an extra down and 10 less yards on the field, but football is football no matter where you go. Definitely the talent down there was a bit of a shock too. Playing with guys like Dylan Moses and Kellen Mond my first year. Those guys are monsters in high school, obviously, as well. And just coming from playing in like minus 20 weather in provincial championships to like 35 degrees Celsius during fall camp was a bit of a shock too. I think I lost like 10 pounds my first practice there. I didn't know what to do. Called my mom. I was like, get me out of here. Like, this is wild. But yeah, no, it was a good experience for sure. I think Canadian football recruiting is getting a lot better now, just because so many guys like Chuba and Amon and I've made it down south and made a name for ourselves down there a little bit.
Claypool there.
Yeah, exactly. Like all those guys coming down from Canada. So I think a lot of teams are looking up in Canada more often. But when I was in high school, it was a little quieter. So I felt as if I had to go to the U.S. to kind of make a name for myself and play down there, Division I. So that's kind of why I made the move. But yeah, it was a good time. It was awesome playing with guys like that.
You definitely must have missed it. Sorry, go ahead, Ray.
Okay, if you could pick anyone to play you in a movie, who would it be?
I get Matt Damon a lot. Shit,
I see it.
I get Matt Damon a lot. People tell me I look a little bit like Matt Damon, and having Jason Bourne play me in a movie wouldn't be.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think that'd be sweet. I think if I had my pick, I think Chris Hemsworth, obviously, because the dude is shredded, and I mean, not to sound. I mean, guy's beautiful. He's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, no way. Piercing eyes, just shredded. Yeah, no, probably. If I had my choice.
Yeah, Miley Cyrus ain't too bad either, so that's pretty good stat for him.
He did well for himself.
Yeah, he did well.
How badly did you miss the Timmies and the Poutine and the ketchup chips down there?
Goodness. Every time I came home, I got a farmer's wrap like on the way from the airport. Oh, I miss it so much when I was down there. They have a couple like kind of like things that I enjoyed too. Like, I mean, Chick-fil-A is down there, obviously, and like stuff like I don't know if you guys heard of Wawa. It's like a gas station, but it also has like a restaurant inside the gas station. And I always went there too. It was just kind of like replacements, but like nothing beats like a Timmy, a nice little double with a farmer's wrap and a maple glazed donut.
Yeah,
that stuff. So.
Nothing says Canadian like the maple glazed donut.
Exactly. That's why I get it. Honestly, it's not even my favorite donut I can get from Tim's. It's just like the most Canadian thing I can get. And when I'm home, I like to be a good Canadian kid. So that's usually where I go.
I love it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I just asked the last one.
Okay. Who do you mirror your game after? Try and play like?
There's a couple for sure. I always really liked the toughness that Brian Urlacher brought to the game. He was just an animal. Like the guy,
Beast,
exactly. You know, I try to play as tough as him. Luke Kuechly's a huge one for me. I always was a huge fan of Luke, the way he diagnosed the game and spent hours in the film room. And I try to do that myself and kind of know what's coming before the play even starts. It's kind of the thing I like to do. And another one, a bit of a lesser known one, Zach Thomas from the Dolphins back in the day.
Miami Dolphins, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The little 5'10" guy, but just played like a badger. That was an animal. And those are probably my top three. I'd like to play my game after. The other one is Bobby Wagner, probably, obviously.
Yeah.
I love B-Wags. He's awesome. I like him. He was more of an underrated guy at high school, went to Utah State. Not like a huge recruit and kind of the same as me. You know, didn't get a whole bunch of looks out of high school, but made the most of his opportunity. And I think that's where I'd like to be for sure.
If you could sit down for dinner with anyone dead or alive, who would it be?
Dead or alive? I'd probably go either Bill Belichick or Nick Saban.
Yeah, Saban.
Either one. I'd love to say, or Eddie O down in LSU too. That'd be a cool one. I just want to know what he's like in person. I want to know if he's actually like that in person, or if it's just like a deal for coaching and like kind of like recruiting stuff. But I think he'd be cool. But I think probably Bill Belichick, just such a student of the game, such a master of like any kind of defense. Like the guy is just so fluent in football that I'd love to just pick his brain for like an hour. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And Mike, we just had on the Finleys, and they were saying great things about Coach O.
Oh, really?
Yeah. TJ Finley's the starting LSU quarterback now, and
really?
he was talking super high of him. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to actually know what his personality is like, because like I like, obviously I've like, no one sees him behind the cameras. I've never met the guy, so like I'd love to just like know what he's like, you know.
I agree. So your couple seasons at Oregon, what was it like? And now you're on the transfer portal, correct?
Yes, correct. I am. Yeah. Oregon was awesome. I loved every second there. Working my way up the depth chart with the linebacker room when I was there essentially stayed the same with a couple exceptions. Like coming up my freshman year, a huge role model for me, and the guy kind of took me under his wing was Troy Dye. He was awesome. He always asked if I needed help with the playbook or if I wanted to go to the field or anything like that. Like he was just an outstanding leader, great athlete, great football player, smart. I mean, just everything you ask for in a football player. And, a lot of the guys stayed in the room with me as we went through a couple guys I was talking about, Nate Hukalani. We came in together and guys like lesser known, like Isaac Slade Matautia.
Yeah.
Still there. He's the starting will backer there still. He was one of my good friends when I was there. He's a great dude as well. Probably the smartest linebacker I've ever played with. The guy just has a nose for the ball instinctually. He's just a knockout linebacker. And I think that was the most fun I had was when we would just sit in the linebacker room, just like hanging out before meetings and stuff like that. I think that was probably the most fun I had off the field at Oregon. Just the brotherhood like atmosphere of the locker room. I'd never been a part of anything like that prior, so it was really cool to experience that.
What's the transfer? How does the transfer portal work, by the way? Like, so do teams come to you now, or do you reach out to teams, or how does that work?
It kind of goes both ways. So a couple teams like reached out to me, and then a couple coaches who had left Oregon prior to me getting the transfer portal. I'd contacted them about their teams and stuff like that. So it goes both ways. It's like a back and forth. So you can reach out or they can reach out. It's either way.
What is your
Saban and I was going to say Saban and Coach O, listen up and take this guy.
Yeah.
That would be fun. And, I've actually been looking up in Canada too. Come back home.
Oh, really?
Hey, come play for my BC Lions.
Yeah, no, that'd be fun. Absolutely. I'd love to get drafted in the CFL. But yeah, a few teams up here I've been talking a little bit too, just to pool the interest of the teams up north. So yeah, that's
right on.
What do you see as a weakness of yours, and how are you trying to improve it?
A weakness in my game, probably my lateral quickness could be a little bit better for sure. Like moving inside the box laterally, changing direction in the box. I feel like I could probably be a little bit faster doing that. And I've been working a lot. There's a gym up here called Most Fitness I work out with. And I've been working a lot with them about like kind of like pushing off my back foot, obviously. And it's helped a lot. I feel like I've picked up a lot of speed going side to side and getting out of my break laterally. So that's been big for me this off season. And speed overall, I think, is always something you can improve. You know, I'd like to be able to run with a running back on a wheel route, but at this point, I know that's probably not my game as much, but I'd like to expand it a lot more, just kind of work on my speed overall as well. So those are probably two things I've been working on this offseason the most.
Okay. Any pregame rituals or routines for you?
Not really. I'm trying to think. I always do the crosses on my face with the eye black. That's always something I've done. That'd be the biggest one. But other than that, just kind of like put my head down, put the AirPods in, and just kind of wait for the game to start. Try to get fired up to a little country music, a little rap music, whatever I'm feeling that day. It doesn't matter.
If you could go anywhere in the world right now, where would you go?
I've never been to New Zealand, and I think that'd be really cool. My brother actually plays rugby at University of Victoria. He's a big rugby guy. So I think it'd be cool to go out there and kind of like experience that culture out there, just because like rugby's the biggest thing out there. Like
that would be sweet.
I know every kid plays it. Every kid growing up has an all black jersey on like their wall or something like that. So I think it'd be kind of cool to experience like what football is like in the US, but with a different sport somewhere else. I think that'd be really cool to experience.
That would be.
Yeah.
6 tackles in the Fiesta Bowl. What was it like playing in that game and stepping in and being an absolute beast?
It was pretty cool. I'm actually a Cardinals fan too. So playing in the Cardinals stadium was kind of a dream come true. My parents have seasons tickets to the Cardinals. So I looked up at like our seats and just kind of like remembered all the times I looked down on the field and now it's down there. It was a pretty cool feeling. But yeah, playing Iowa State was a wild feeling too. Breece Hall, obviously All-American running back, the kid's a beast. There was one tackle I remember especially. I thought I had him for a TFL. I had his legs wrapped up. I had him right here, and I was like, "Oh, this guy's going down. There's no way he got out of this." And I felt his foot just kind of drive out of my arms, and I was like, "No way." Yeah, and he broke off a 5-yard runoff. You know, it's just kind of. Yeah, no, it was a really cool experience. It was awesome. I wouldn't trade anything for it.
Do you have a favorite sports franchise?
Yeah, probably the Arizona Cardinals, honestly. It'd be a toss-up between them and the Flames. I've been a big Flames fan my whole life. Going to the Dome, going to the Flames games when I was a kid, going to the Dome. Watching us lose in the Stanley Cup final, it was kind of tough, but you know. But yeah, probably I'd probably put the Cardinals at number one. I'm a huge Cards fan.
Yeah, I mean, you guys just stacked this year.
Exactly. It's about time.
You still got to go through my Seahawks.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the division looks pretty solid this year. And
yeah, it definitely does.
It's about time we've been good, though, because there have been a couple dark years where I've had to fight through 3-13 and stuff like that. And it's just terrible to watch.
And I was saying last night, I still see the Rams being the bottom of the division.
I really hope so. I can't stand that team. For some reason, we can't we'll play the Niners and you guys really, really hard, and then we go to LA and just lose by 40. Like, I have no idea what it is with the Rams, but we can't play them.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
You're telling me about 3-13. I'm a Bengals fan.
Oh yeah,
man. We've been having a lot of those.
You got Joey B, and you might get my boy Panay into the draft too. You guys are looking okay. You got a bright future. A couple weapons.
I really hope we get Panay. Like I really, really hope we get him.
I mean, it's him or Jamar, but I really don't see the value in getting a receiver when Joe doesn't have like 2 seconds in the pocket. Like, how's he gonna get the ball there? Like the receiver.
How good is Panay? What's he like?
He's a beast. I mean, you see the stats. The guy gave up like 1 sack playing left tackle like in 3 years at Oregon. The guy's a beast. He's a really like quiet, mild-tempered kid off the field too. Just kind of like, kind of just like quiet. Doesn't really say much. He's got his close friends, obviously, and he's a pretty quiet kid. But on the field, just an animal. You saw he gets in the middle of all of us pregame and tries to get us fired up. Yeah. But really, really quiet, mild-tempered kid. But when he's on the field, he's an absolute animal.
He lets his play do the talking.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that's
trying to get him on.
Yeah, that'd be sick. But
guys,
he's a beast. He's awesome.
Yeah, he is. What's one piece of advice your coach has given you? Or like the best piece, anyways.
Oh man, I had my high school linebacker coach. His name's Tommy Langford. He coaches at University of Charlotte now. He's their Nichols coach, and there's an expletive in it, but it's the acronym is FEMA, and I don't know if you blur this out, but it means fuck them all, and it's like essentially what it is. It's like he had a friend that played in the league, played center, and it was like, yeah, this guy's on your team, but like don't feel bad about like trying to bury him because he'd do the same thing to you in a second. So it's kind of like a you versus the world kind of mentality. Obviously, you need to be boys with your teammates, and that's just something you have to do. But in practice, between the white lines, it's very much just like it's me against everybody else right now. So that's probably the best advice anyone's ever given me.
And it really is, because you think about it, you're always battling your own teammates too for that starting position, right?
Exactly.
Like everyone wants to be the starter.
Exactly. Like you're going to be friends with your teammates, but everyone's competitive. Everyone's going to want the starting job. So, I mean, when you're between the white lines, it's very much just like, okay, like I have to do what I have to do to get to the starting job. And like,
other than your old school, where do you have the most friends that go to school?
Everybody kind of spread out after high school, from IMG at least. A couple guys I keep in contact with. His name's Juan Wallace. He plays at Kent State. I'm still pretty close with him. There are a few. I mean, we had our whole defense signed D1 pretty much. They're like,
wow.
We had Xavier Thomas was one of our defensive ends. He's at Clemson, and then we had Nolan Smith. He's at Georgia. Our DBs were really solid. Greg Newsome, I played with him on my senior year on that IMG team, and Andre Sisco was on that team as well.
We had a stacked team.
Yeah, we had a lot of guys go D1 that year, and everybody's kind of spread out. So there's not really one school I can pinpoint that like there's the most people I know at. But maybe Oklahoma before Buki left. I probably knew the most people at that school, probably.
Okay.
Just
who would you go ahead? Right?
I was going to throw this out there. Were you on the team maybe 2 seasons ago that came up to Washington Huskies, and it was a rainy game, and you played against the Huskies? It was homecoming weekend.
We played. I wasn't there.
Spencer Webb got his touchdown.
Yeah, I was on that team. Yeah, I was. I was on that team for sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was at that game.
The hotly debated pass interference call to end the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was on that team for sure.
Yeah, I was at that game, but I don't really remember much. I was having too many pregame parties.
That's the one thing I missed out on was the tailgates. I was kind of mad about that, but. Yeah, no, I didn't travel to that game personally, but I watched it on TV. All with the injured pool. I was hurt, and me and the boys who were all hurt went and watched on TV. It was a wild game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And the tailgating, I noticed at college games is a lot more fun than tailgating at like a Seahawks game.
Exactly. I've only ever experienced the pro tailgates because I've never been to a college tailgate because usually we're getting ready to play a game. But
yeah, right.
Yeah, no, that's one thing. If I could go back, I would love to go to a college tailgate. I've never been to one. That'd be sweet.
Yeah,
that would be sweet. This is a tough question, but who's the best player you figure you played with and against?
The best player I've played with was probably either Troy Dye or Dylan Moses. Dylan was an animal at IMG. I don't know. I'm kind of narrowing it down to linebacker rooms because that's who I like.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's like who I played with mostly. So out of the two, it was probably either one of those, Dylan or Troy. And then the best player I played against would either Jonathan Taylor or Breece Hall. It's either one. Those two were
Jonathan Taylor. Wow.
Yeah, I just saw it. I didn't play in the Fiesta Bowl, but I remember seeing that guy just like carry people on his back for like first downs. The guy was a beast, just an animal, and obviously the breakaway speed too is impressive. But just out of experience, I actually had to play against Breece Hall, so I'd probably go Breece.
Okay, I was gonna say, what does your daily routine look like before the game?
For the game, it's mostly what the team did. So essentially, we had a team hotel that we went to the night before every game, even like home games and stuff. So it depends on the time of the game. We usually wake up. If it's like a 2:00 kick or something like that, you go to the facility, eat breakfast. There's a whole bunch of meetings before the game, just like final touches, pregame stuff. Usually have a walkthrough. And my favorite part was we had this tradition at Oregon called the March to Victory. And essentially what it is all the fans, like we have these doors that go out to the courtyard of our football facilities, and all the fans kind of like gather around this little like chute that we walk through, and you get to like high five all the fans and just walk back around in the locker room. And that was really cool to see all the fans come out before the game. And it's like 2 hours before the game, so only like the real diehard guys are there. So that's probably the coolest part about our little pregame ritual at Oregon. But other than that, probably just going out on the field like way before the game, see the field, see where you're going to play. That's probably my favorite part.
What'd you say your biggest football moment is thus far in your career?
That's tough. I think I got credit for a tackle for a loss against Iowa State. And that's probably the biggest one. I think I got credit for a tackle. They ran a jet sweep, kind of an end around type deal. And Kayvon Thibodeau got there first, but I kind of got in on it, and I think they gave me credit for it. So that's probably the best one.
Right on.
Waffles or pancakes?
Pancakes every day. It's not even close. Chocolate chip pancakes all the time. It's not even close. I don't really like waffles that much, to be honest.
If a scout or GM were to ask, what do you bring to the table, or describe your playing style?
I think you get, with me, a tough, smart, physical linebacker. Play tackle to tackle pretty well. Get it on the edge. I play pretty solid in zone coverage as well. So I think those are all my strengths. I think I'm deceivingly athletic as well. I like to describe myself as that. Looking at me, you probably wouldn't assume that I'm a great like a super fast guy or have a good burst or pretty explosive. But I like to consider myself all those things.
I just want to thank you again, Nick, a lot for coming on. We really appreciate it, and we know you're going to go far in football. And we can't wait to cheer you on all the way, man. You got a fan in us for life.
That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on. It's awesome.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a mug, perhaps a hoodie, head on over to IOnlyTouchGreatness.com.
Looking for the most beers on tap, great steaks, great staff? Head over to the John B. Pub.
We got the best beers, steaks, chicken wings, nachos in town. Come see us at the John B. Pub.
The John B Pub, the best bar in town. Come sign up for our football pool. Say Hayes sent you.